Good morning or good afternoon. This is Alan Pollock with the FindMeDealsNow.com. I see we still have some people logging in. So in respect of those people that have logged on time, we're probably going to just inch forward a little bit. Welcome, by the way. The missing piece of the puzzle is, I have to say with all appreciation, I borrowed this from one of our clients who, after installing our software and program membership, said this was the missing piece of the puzzle. So with that, I owe Susan a quarter for every time that I use it. It's a license fee that I agreed to. So with that, we'll probably just inch forward here a little bit. Let's go here. Yes. While we're waiting for everyone to sign on, let's get a little more transparent. We value your time. As I suggested, we started on time. So with that, we'll take the questions at the end. Along with that, there is a Q&A box. There should be a chat box at the bottom, lower right, so you don't forget your questions. Also, we encourage your participation, and with that, we actually reward you for it. Not everybody's going to participate. We understand that, but what I have found in the past is that many times when I do participate, I get a little bit more out of it. There are 10 questions, and the person who participates and answers all 10 questions, there's no right or wrong answers, by the way. You're not going to get tested, but it is a participation opportunity. Will receive a free 1-month membership, which is could be a value up to $495. So we certainly encourage that. With that, I also wanted to share with you, I am a lifetime student of quotations. And one of my favorite quotations from Mark Anthony, M-A-R-C, Mark, is do what you love and you'll never have to work a day in your life. And that is just so true. So with that, in my business life, I'm not shy to say I enjoy making money. I love doing deals and I enjoy helping people. So with that, I want to extend my appreciation for everybody who's on the webinar today to help me achieve my personal business goals. Along with that, we're talking about quotes. We provide a free quote action. There's no charge for that. You can just email me, put your QA in the chat box, and I'll be sure to send you our quote actions every single day. Goes out to thousands of clients and students and family members and things of that nature. So with that, moving along, the presentation will, I'm going to try to keep it right at an hour. I might go 5 minutes over, but let's just say an hour. Please turn off your cell phone and reduce down some of the distractions of your emails. I'm not really good at that myself, so all I can do is ask for that. Yes, you'll have a chance to join, choose the level membership, and get your next deal in 5 minutes from the download. You're going to see a lot of proof of that statement in just a few short minutes. If you stay to the end, yes, there is a discount. It is a substantial discount, and you're going to see why we do that. It is only for 20 people, and so I encourage you to stay to the end. And yes, there is a free 30-day option as well, and we will describe that about 2/3 of the way through. So let's get started so I can stay within the hour. I will be talking a little bit fast, and again, I encourage you to use your chat box if there's anything going on. Let me just make sure everybody's got audio going on here, and it looks like they do. If you're here to do deals, you're in the right place at the right time. Remember this, not all leads are good deals. That every deal starts off as a lead. And as I share that with you, whether you're new to the business or one of our multi-million-dollar investors, it is not uncommon that someone would first look at that and say, well, I don't quite understand what you're talking about, that every deal starts off as a lead. Oh, I apologize for that. I did not turn off my auto notifiers. I hope that doesn't distract anybody. We'll deal with that down the road. My point is, and you're going to see an illustration of our funnel, that every deal starts off as a lead. It's impossible that you could get a deal done without knowing what to start with. And we're going to give you quite an illustration with that. Kind of a preview. What if you opened your email this morning and found something like this? Now, don't get all crazy about my feeds have 5,547 deal leads to it. What I'd like you to do is to just kind of look at what we've got here as our line items, top 10 keyword search in Charlotte. We're going to give you those top 10 keywords as well, and then you can see whether or not they are relative to your particular business or objective. We'll talk about that in a minute. You can see in Charlotte, just with 10 keywords, 245 deal leads. Palm Springs, 147, a little smaller community. Austin, one of my favorite cities, Austin, Texas, welcome, 517. These are just from a one-day scrape of 10 keywords using our software and our program. And you're going to see how that's done in just a few minutes here. Orlando, 345, Phoenix, 512, Los Angeles, 572. Los Angeles being a major community like San Diego or Chicago or I believe Orlando or Tampa, have even sub-communities where you can break those down, whether it's to the zip code level or to even a private community level. We're going to show you how to do that. What I'd like you to do for question number 1, here's your first opportunity to participate in the chat. Please put in the city that you are located in. Just jot that down in your chat right now. I'll take a look at that later during the presentation, but it helps us to get a little bit better activity or tracking of our programming. Doesn't matter. There are over 1,000 cities that you can scrape in just the United States. You're going to see that the process and the application go beyond that. You can go to Canada. You can go international. We're using internet scraping tools, and we're going to give you the secret sauce on how that works in about a half an hour. So with that, breaking news, virtually every website is searchable, whether it's Amazon, eBay, for sale by owner, realtor, Craigslist, what the biggest buy-sell engagement in the world. Yes, you can look that up. I did some research on it. In 2016, Craigslist did nearly $1 billion. I think the exact number in 2016 was $694 million with only 50 employees, one of the largest activities of a private company. Craigslist, we just love that. Realtor.com, I mentioned, Zillow, Trulia, and these are only in the real estate market, not to include those that I haven't even included. Yes, the answer is, people say to me, Alan, well, you're not telling me anything new. I know that I can search. There's a search bar in every single one of these websites. Virtually every website has a search. However, that means you have to go and know what to look for. You have to put in the keywords into each one. You have to look at them individually. There is a lot of work. So the answer is yes, you could search each one of these individually. How about all of them automatic? Would you be interested? With that, question number 2. Have you ever used any of these sites, any of them, in terms of searching, whether it's for your personal or business? Of course, I know what the answer is, but I just thought we would encourage you with a positive opportunity here. And with that, we're going to move to our next screen, which is your favorite. Again, whether it's for sale by owner, just put F in this chat box there. If it's eBay, I was on eBay for Christmas, spent lots of money for my eBays. That is certainly a good buy-sell engagement. Not really great for real estate, but ultimately it is certainly one of the 2 largest in the world in terms of a buy-sell engagement. Trulia, T for Trulia, Z for Zillow, C for Craigslist, R for Realtor, N is in Nancy for none. If you have not used any of these, or you don't use the internet for any of your searching activities, just put an N there. We're going to compile the results and give that to you. We've done this presentation dozens of times. We're always within 1 or 2 percentages of that number. So let's just see if any of the participants here can throw me off base here. Before we get to the actual secret sauce and the actual scraping, let's think about this. To be considered an expert, the old adage, again, I'm a student of, lifetime student of quotations. The old adage, it takes 10,000 hours in virtually any endeavor to be an expert, isn't far from the truth. Doctor, a lawyer, a professional athlete, an actor, a singer, accountant, a student, clergy, nurses. We love nurses, what they do for their dedication. They go to school, and then they've got to go into various types of after graduation activities. Thank you, nurses, for all that you do for our healthcare. Real estate professionals, yes, to be a real estate professional, 10,000 hours. We're going to talk about that. The list goes on and on. Let's talk about the math. There are approximately 8 hours a day for job, career, training, studying. I don't think anybody actually disagrees with me. 8 hours a day is probably about right. Some people put in more, some a little bit less. There are approximately 40 hours, taking 5 days, or 50 hours a week. If you're in real estate, it could be 50 hours a week to do non-family, non-personal efforts. This means there's approximately 2,000 to 2,500 hours per year for professional efforts. Divided by 10,000 hours means 4 to 5 years. So the faster you can condense the numbers, the quicker the goal. That is my objective, is to figure out how you can get that thing down to a few hours instead of 10,000 hours, and you're going to see proof of that in just a minute. Most of you already know this, whether you're a newbie, closed a few deals, if you're wholesaling or flipping, you own dozens of rentals, or even a seasoned expert, there are really only 6 steps to any successful real estate endeavor. If you're wholesaling, flipping, rehabbing, doing a buy and hold, doing entitlements, you buy to rent, you're doing lease options, you're buying and holding private loans. Maybe you're carrying notes. Maybe you're doing 1031 exchanges, VRBO, that's vacation rental by owner, the prelude to Airbnb, which we also have there. Either in the residential or commercial markets, every deal has the same 6 components. Here they are. If you know them, fill in the blanks. Not uncommon. Some of our more seasoned clients know these, or they've seen the presentation, so they've got the cheat notes. Just a little humor here, letting you fill in the blanks. Do you want to guess which ones they are? Let's talk about them. Here are the 6 steps to any successful real estate investing. By the way, we give you the little funnel as an illustration to say, look, you've got to start with something up at the top, and by the time you get down to the bottom, you're hoping you accomplish the goal. So let's go through those individually. Finding, and that could be on market, off market, through an agent, a family member, through an ad, an internet activity. Maybe you're a member of a real estate investment group. They're all over the nation. Again, I will get challenged that somebody says to me, well, I really don't have to worry about finding, my realtor finds them for me. Got to tell you, isn't that part of the beginning of the process? You've got somebody either finding them through some process or you're finding them yourself. Nothing happens without first finding the deal. Pretty much everybody agrees with that. Then you have to analyze it. And that could be for whatever that purpose of the acquisition is, whether it's for cash flow, cap rate. For those that don't know what cap rate is, think of that as an interest on your capital, interest return, just like putting money in the bank. Cap rate, rehab costs, you have to analyze your rehab costs and your holding cost. And is there a value add? How does it make money? You want to know that as soon as you go through step number 1, you want to know how it's going to make money. And by the way, it's almost impossible to put any of these numbers in front of number 1 or number 2 or number 3. You need to control it. Whether you currently own it, whether or not it's under contract, whether or not you're using a lease option to control it, whether you're a real estate broker or agent and you control the property by your exclusive listing. We have master lease down. Master lease is a tremendous tool in predominantly the commercial, but also in the residential market, where you are the responsible party and you break it up into little pieces, and the pieces are worth more than the whole, so to speak. Are you in the process of purchasing it? Yes, you have to control it. You could do that through an assignment. Again, we did mention whether or not it's listing. The objective here is you have to control it, and it would be impossible for you to control it if you didn't first find it. And I don't know if you'd want to control it if after you've done your analysis, you said it doesn't make any money. And then, of course, you have to fund it. Now, funding could also include that you currently already own it, or maybe you're using your cash, you're using seller financing or private funds. Hard money is not necessarily the same as private funds. Maybe using 401k or IRA. Maybe you're looking at a syndication. By the way, we do syndications, joint ventures, and partnerships in our mentor program. So if you're interested in participating with someone who's got a little bit more track record, we welcome that in our Platinum program. And of course, then you have to manage it. And that could be everything from managing the rehab. Maybe you're doing self-managed. In other words, you're a one party and you do everything from the hammer and nails all the way to putting your sign up at the end. Maybe you're using a general contractor. GC here means general contractor for rehabbing. Maybe you're using a property management. I love talking about this one. Just because you're passive and you have a property manager doesn't mean you don't have to manage the manager. It's not that they're going to steal you blind by being distrusting. It's just like anything else. You've got to trust and verify. We use that term a lot, trust and verify. And also with a leasing agent, you get the idea. Every single aspect of the transaction has to be managed, whether or not you've got somebody doing it or you're managing the manager, almost a project manager. And then you got to monetize it. And by this, we're talking about how are you going to make money on it. We touched base on that in number 2 when we said, how does it make money? You have to monetize it, whether you're doing that for a cash out on a fix or flip. Maybe you're looking at a resale down the road of a property that you owned for a while. Maybe you're making money because you're leasing with a spread. That's going back to that master lease concept. Maybe you're doing a rehab with a net profit. Again, the word net is critical here. It doesn't pay to buy it and flush funds. We call those a par deal. You've got to make money on it. If that's your objective, you've got to monetize it. Or maybe you're purchasing with the objective of a cash flow. And again, that's monetizing. The point is, every deal has the same 6 components that make or break the deal. Question number 5. Do you agree? Just a little Y or N. You can disagree with me. You can challenge me. You can ask your questions about it. But the point is, every deal has the same 6 components that make or break the deal. Question number 5. Probably a good time to talk about us a little bit. We are in the business. Do it every day. We're probably closer to that 50-hour versus 40-hour a week. As a team, we are investors and brokers that focus on the value-add opportunities that are motivated by a situation. What does that mean? We look for short sales, bankruptcies, divorce, health. We're saddened whenever there's a personal situation, especially health. Whether you've lost a job, not you, but the seller, whether it's a probate, a liquidation of a trust, a corporate sale, vacant, absentee owner, tired landlord. The idea here is that there's got to be a motivation other than a retail, I'm selling because I'm buying something else. That probably doesn't fit well into the 90% bracket of what we look for when we're talking about a motivated situation opportunity. And when the opportunity is not a value add, we don't throw those lemons out. We make lemonade out of lemons, and we do this when it's move-in ready. And we do that with other alternatives, which we call them alternative programs. And that includes rent to own, maybe a long-term lease, maybe a lease option, seller carry, and other strategic alternatives to assist the seller to exit. In other words, we want to address their particular motivation, use the situation, and create an opportunity. Collectively, we have over 40 years of experience dating back to 1981. As brokers, we're happy to share that with you. I'm going to just close that down. I apologize again. I'm in the middle of this. I'm not going to turn it off. By the way, if any of those pop-ups happen to be a deal in an area you're looking for, I'll just leave that up for a second. If you want to grab that, put it in my chat box. I will send that to you free. No charge, no credit card, not even a promise. Just I'm only going to leave it up there for another 6 seconds, 57 incoming news. We'll talk about that in a minute. Collectively, we have over 40 years of experience dating back to 1981. We'll be happy to give you copies of our broker licenses here in California, as well as a securities representative. I'm currently not doing my securities work, but was also licensed as a security representative. As a published author, speaker, and panel contributor, investor, and mentor, I've had the opportunity to engage in countless of discussions of deals ranging from development, commercial, wholesale, flips, creative financing, 1031 exchanges, lease options, seller carry, and other associated structures. That's me on the far left. I kind of like that picture. And also on the far right is the cover of my book, How to Cash In on Distressed Real Estate in the Down Market. Very active in the 2009 to 12 range and still available on Amazon.com. So what prompted us to provide this unique platform? We wanted to make sure the mission was within the scope of our 3 key success factors. We are a strong proponent of education. Many of you that are on this program right now may have been experienced and getting a little bit more education. Some are new into the market and say, how do I get started? So with that, we have boiled it down to only 3 key success factors. You're going to see that theme carried out all the way to the end, and here they are. It has to be reliable. It has to be real and not a waste of time. Not uncommon that you will be looking at a deal, whether or not you find it yourself or whether or not somebody brings it to you, and you have to understand that it is reliable. In our business, not uncommon that a guy knows a guy, a daisy chain as they're called. I got to tell you, I've never closed more than a 1-touch point deal. And that means it's reliable. The source has to be reliable. The deal has to be reliable. It's got to have a title insurance policy. It has to be reliable. Don't waste your time and money on non-reliable opportunities. And then it has to be repeatable. Make sure it wasn't just an accident or a one-time deal. Now, I say this with great embarrassment. I have made a lot of money and I have closed a lot of deals that were accidents. And then when I've tried to duplicate that, whether it was an entitlement, an assemblage, maybe what I was doing is buying a property with the intent that I was going to convert it from a residential to a commercial. My point is, it's not uncommon that you can close a deal by accident. However, it's almost impossible to build a business practice by accident. And we're going to talk about that in just another couple of slides here. And it has to be predictable. Yes, it has to close, and you usually know this at the beginning. Whether you call it a gut feel, whether you call it knowledge or experience, or the fact that the sponsor or whoever you're working with says, yes, we are going to close no matter what. Reliable, repeatable, and predictable. So our entire theme that goes for the rest of this presentation, keep that in mind. You'll hear me say it a dozen times. Reliable, repeatable, and predictable. The point is, anything else that does not fall into these 3 key success factors is an accident and nearly impossible to duplicate or build a business. Question number 6. Do you agree with the 3 key success factors? And this is the better way of building a business versus an accident. Just a little Y or N. We are compiling that information and we'll share that at the end. Before we drill down to the details, consider the difference between push and pull. So I'm going to start with the question. Question number 7, which looks easier for you? Which makes more sense? Your car broke down. It's raining outside. Maybe it's cold in the Midwest and the Far East. They've had some pretty cold weather this year. Which one looks easier for you? Which one looks like a reliable, repeatable, and predictable result? The man pushing the car on the left or the tow truck on the right? You know the answer, but put it down there anyway if you're participating. There's a bonus at the end. Let's talk about it. Push marketing is where you drive the marketing outbound, such as direct mail, bandit signs, door knocking, outbound call centers. Think of this, man, every time that you think of how you're going to market your business, how you're going to find your deals. Are you push marketing? In other words, are you this single guy pushing his car uphill by himself? Even if he was going downhill, he'd have another problem. Or are you the type of person that wants to do pull marketing, where you get the business from an inbound effort, such as door hangers, 24/7 call centers, virtual assistants? We have a virtual assistant that makes the calls for us. Coupons, love this analogy. Stay with me. I use coupons all the time. Sometimes I'm not even thinking that I want to use the coupon, whether I'm going to get my oil changed, whether I'm going to the grocery store, whether I'm getting a coupon in my email mail. The return for those people using coupons are, I don't know what the exact statistic is. It's certainly more than 2 or 3%. It could be in the double digits. I love using coupons, and the reason is someone is already making me an offer, and I didn't have to do anything. They're just making me an offer. Think about how you are pulled into a transaction with a coupon. Keep that in your head. You'll know what I'm talking about in a minute here. Therefore, our mission is to get deals, not hope they find us. We already did the question. Again, lifetime student of quotations. The old adage, feed a man a fish he eats for a day, feed him a fish he eats for a lifetime. Oh, my mistake. Feed a man a fish he eats for a day, teach him the fish he eats for a lifetime. My mistake. How about both? We're going to talk about this in a minute. And over on the left, you're going to see that you could do this. You could wait for it to happen. You get in, you get your bait, you climb in the boat, you throw out your pole, and you wait, and you wait, and you wait. And the guru programs teach you how to fish, and that's education. I'm not throwing the gurus under the bus. I've been to anything from a 1-hour presentation to a 4-day presentation. They range from $97 to $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, and those are education. I've yet to be to a single program where they hand me a deal and say, hey, let's close this by the end of the day. Haven't seen it happen. That's okay. We're going to go this. We only go catching, and here's the difference. What if I said, hey, I go fishing every day at 12 o'clock. That is that reliability and repeatability. And if you want to come with me, I'll bring the bait, the pole, and even show you the spot. That is the predictability. Reliable, repeatable, and predictable. Remember this illustration. You could do it on the left, or you do it on the right. Question number 8, which looks easier? Which is the way that you would like to do your business? You could do it on the left, and you could wait and wait and wait. Or you could do it on the right. We only go catching. You're going to see that in about 2 more slides. Probably to stay transparent, we want to tell you what we don't do. We don't want to mislead you anyway. We don't teach you how to do push marketing. We don't teach you how to handwrite a bandit sign, or that they're supposed to be on a sign that's exactly 16 inches high and 24 inches wide. We don't do yellow letters anymore. We spend I don't know if it was tens, but 3,000 to 5,000 a month in yellow letters and postcards. We don't teach you how to do bird dogs, to tell them to drive down the street, look at the left, look at the right, look for boarded up houses, look for fences that are falling down, look for cars that are up on cinder blocks. Don't look for boats that look like they're going to fall apart. We don't teach you how to direct a bird dog. We do have a process, of which case once you find a deal how to use a bird dog, but we don't teach you how to train bird dogs. There are lots of guru programs out there and vendors that do that, and they do a pretty good job. If that's what your focus is, stay with it. We're not going to take you away from that. We're going to give you something better. We don't teach you how to calculate the rehab or repair costs. There are great programs out there that walk you through the analytics. We're one of the affiliates, one of the largest analytical software programs in the country. And we also provide a free budget and price point calculator. Just put that down in your chat box that you want me to send you, our free budget and price point calculator. We have CPAs using that. I don't say this with ego. We can generally get within 10% of your rehab cost and never even go on the property. There's a way to do that. And that's the easiest part of the investment. I understand that some of you on here might be new to the business and say, gosh, it's so hard for me to figure it out. What if I make a mistake? We've got a solution for that. Hang with us. And we don't teach how to fill in a contract, assignments, lease options, map entitlement, or even to open a checking account. I say that with tongue in cheek, with great humor, because I was actually at a 4-day event. And yes, they were suggesting, let me take 10 or 15 minutes to show you how to open up a checking account. We're not going to waste your time with that. We do provide in our mentor program sample contracts, and we will partner with you, and we will walk you, we'll hold your hand through that process. However, that's not our primary objective. Our primary objective is get you deal leads as fast as possible and follow that funnel. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. It should be embedded in your brain by now. And if not, this will be a recorded presentation and posted on our website. You will have to give us a user and password. However, you can review this at any time once you log on. There are many promoters that have teams of people to do that. I was at a presentation, I was at a 4-day event, and on Sunday, after we had gone through our bus tour on Friday and Saturday, on Sunday morning, 9 o'clock, they say, get your coffee, we're going to do a contract, and you're going to fill in the date and the buyer and the seller and the property address and what the earnest money deposit is. And that was at 9 in the morning. At 12 o'clock, we're 3 pages done with the contract. Not going to waste your time with that. We will help you as we can, but we're all about doing the deal. And we're not going to teach you how to comp a property for ARV. That stands for after repair value. We do have a template that works pretty well, but there are web platforms and agents to do that for you. After you've done one, the rest is easy. Unless it is a truly unique, one-of-a-kind property, 90+% of the time, you will be able to do an ARV with web access. And we're not going to tell you that it's going to be easy with no cash or credit. I'm not going to mislead you. Yes, there are programs. In fact, as I mentioned, our Platinum program, we partner with people both as joint ventures, syndication, raising 401k and IRA money. In terms of credit, we even have gap partners. My point is, I don't want to mislead you that it's easy to do with no cash or credit. If the deal is good, you will get it done. If not, then why would you waste your cash or anybody else's if it's not a deal that you want to work through? So what do? We only do deals. If you haven't gotten that from the first 15, I guess 20 minutes of the program, we only do deals and we show you how we do it. We are only into pull marketing. Remember the illustration of the man pushing, that's a push market, or the tow truck where I get in the passenger seat because it's raining and 5 minutes later I'm done with my situation with my broken down car. We're only into pull marketing. The deals come to you. I'm going to show you evidence of that in just a few slides. We only focus on the transactional business. That means you don't waste time and money on non-deal or hope they call me hopes and prayers. Bandit signs, yellow letters, bird dogs. Those are hopes and prayers. We don't do that. We only do deals. We only focus on motivated opportunities because the seller or buyer have already indicated so by their actions. Let me repeat that. We only focus on motivated opportunities because the seller or buyer have already indicated so by their actions. This is critical. If you don't have time to stay with us to the end, write that one down, send us an email, and we'll explain it to you. But here it is. There's no reason that you would go after a deal that is not for sale or not motivated to sell. It's that simple. We want people that are waving their hands to say, hey, take me, I need an offer and I need it today. I'll give you a great example. What if you were selling your car and whatever way you want to sell it, not trading it in because you're buying a new car, but just the fact that you are selling your car and you put it into Auto Trader or Car Guru or Craigslist. Let me ask you how you feel when somebody actually calls you. Are you not just elated that somebody found you and you want to sell your car? Same thing here. Just think about that for a minute. You've all experienced it. We all get elated when somebody has contacted us based on what our particular mission is. We only target deals we want, not the other way around, kind of something we spoke about before, only go after reliable, repeatable, and predictable opportunities. We only embrace a system that can be done over and over again, that repeatable side of it. We only support a vision regardless of the market cycle. Critical. There are buyer markets and there are seller markets. Wouldn't it be nice if you had a business that works both? That is that predictable part. You can modify your objective based on whatever the market is, and if you have a system that's in place, you adjust to the market. And we only provide a service and technology that is real. You can find your next deal in minutes, not days, weeks, or months. You've seen quite by accident that I've gotten these pop-ups, and these pop-ups come in all day long, and I can literally set those pop-ups to come to the second. I don't recommend that. Minutes are plenty for me, but they pop up like that all day long, minutes, not days, weeks, or months. You saw this earlier. What is the deal potential? Take a look at these numbers. Again, don't get caught up on my feeds, 5,547. I'm probably tracking probably over 100 keywords. I'm probably tracking, I don't know, maybe about 20 different locations. But just stop and think. If you were in Charlotte, 245 opportunities with only 10 keywords, we're going to give those to you, and then you'll determine whether or not those are applicable for what your directive is or your objective. And you can change them anytime you want. You can add as many as you want. Palm Springs, 147. Austin, 517. Do you think there's a deal or two or three or 10 in Austin that I might be interested in? All day long. Tampa, 502. Orlando, 345. Gosh, let's see. Just between Tampa and Orlando, yeah, they're a couple of 100 miles apart. We have over 800 deal leads within a couple of 100 miles. That is an incredible amount of opportunities. Los Angeles, 572. And you could break those down literally to the zip code or intersection level. Yes, you can get that tight. Virtually any location and topic is searchable. Just a couple of general statistics. You probably have already heard all this, so I'm going to blow through these. The general return for bandit signs is typically in the 2% range. Now, that doesn't mean you close that many. It means a response to the effort. 2%. We buy houses fast. We buy foreclosures up there in the upper right. That is a billboard. We buy foreclosures. We don't teach you how to handwrite house to be sold. Nice sign. I'm sure they get some activity. Roof cleaning, you get the idea, and you're waiting for the phone to ring. We don't do that. This is another way. The general response for direct mail in the market is 1%. If you're really, really good at it, you might get 2%. However, 1 and 2% for the amount of effort and the cost might not be your best return. We used to spend $3,000 to $5,000 a month in direct mail. I was recently on a presentation by one of the major names in our industry, and they were showing how they went to this house and they met with the owner, and on the kitchen table were dozens of yellow letters and postcards and pink letters, and they showed this pile on the kitchen table of all of the direct mail that this particular seller got. I don't know about you. I'm not interested in competing with dozens and dozens of people that are sending out yellow letters and spending money, and you're waiting for the phone to ring. Again, it could be a great compliment. You could be very successful with it. I need more than a 1% return in my business. I don't know about you. We don't do that. And then there are the bird dogs, the vacant house data, the absentee owners, the direct mailing promotions, the equity owner mailings, and on and on and on. There you got your 800-pound gorilla. We buy ugly houses. Yeah, they've got a budget of, I don't know, a lot to go out and buy ugly houses, vacant houses by zip code. That's a mailing campaign, and you're waiting for the phone to ring. That's not what we do. That is push marketing. It is painful. It takes a lot of time and money, and that's not what we do. What if you didn't have to market for leads? Again, remember that funnel. Nothing happens without a lead or a feed or a find. Nothing. You can't monetize. You can't analyze. You can't control. You don't even have to worry about funding unless you find it. You find the leads where you want. You find the leads when you want. You create a call to action work list. You could find an ad, or better yet, only answer the ones you want. Isn't that a better use of your time? And what if there was a work list? Yes, a list of deals, not just 1 or 2 coming in every day. How about 10 or 20 coming in every day? You choose. And what if the deals popped up automatically? You saw a little illustration of that when they were popping up at the beginning of our presentation here. Happens all day long. You could set them to the second, the minute, the hour, the day. You can set them literally at the keyword level. That's how tight you can get this thing. And what if only the deals you would have looked at popped up? Let's just say I only want to look at fixers. I only want my fixers to pop up. I'm not interested in my probates bothering me during the course of the day. And what if you could create a daily work list prepared for you? Workflow management. The challenge you're going to have with getting 20, 30, 50 leads a day is not closing them, it's managing them. We will give you the workflow, and we have training programs. We didn't touch base on that, but at the highest level of our training membership, we have over 20 hours of training. At our bronze level, it's probably closer to about 5, but you can get started, and we even give you 30 days to do that. And what if you didn't have to look anywhere beyond your working screen? Kind of hey, down here, look at me. That's kind of a way that I had that the pop-ups coming up. And what if the choice was all yours and not how am I going to get them to call me? Remember the problem with push marketing. How are you going to get them to call you on a bandit sign or a yellow letter or a bird dog? That is push marketing. It's a lot of work. We only are into the pull marketing because it's reliable, repeatable, and predictable. And what if you didn't have to, what if you could expand other neighborhoods or communities or regions or states without ever changing anything other than a few searches? We have clients that start this in their backyard, and in a heartbeat, they're now looking at the other side of the city, and they're looking in their own state, and they're looking at neighboring states. It's so easy to go out of your general area once you've got a system. But I wouldn't necessarily recommend that if you're living in Florida, you do your first deal in New York City. That's probably, I don't know what you call that for a strategy, but probably not in our mentor program. We wouldn't recommend that. And what if you didn't have to rely on bandit signs, agents, bird dogs, yellow letters, sending postcards, or buying mailing lists? You get the idea. Sounds too good to be true? How is it done? We're going to give you the secret sauce here in about 3 slides. We use automatic feeds. You saw those popping up. I have a software that goes out and does my scraping based on my criteria. I let the internet go out and do all of my scraping for me. It's called automatic feeds. It's so simple. Remember the ad. Now, we're going to, taking a breath here, it's not the newspaper. This is a visual association. And if you're over 40, you're going to get it, and you're going to smile about it and say, yeah, those were the good old days. So looks like the newspaper, doesn't it? And not too far off, I'll give you kind of the little story of this is that, I used to get up at 7 in the morning. I was still in my PJs. My coffee was brewing. I go out to the front porch. I get my newspaper. I take the rubber band off. I look at the front headlines. Okay, the earth is still here and we're not at war. And then I would go to the sports page and I would see what the local scores are. That would take me all of about 60 seconds. And by about 3 minutes after picking up the paper, I was on the want ads and I was in the real estate section and it says for sale, by owner, by agent. And all I had to do was just look down the column, take my little red pen, and I was circling by 7:15 in the morning, and by 8 o'clock, I was making my phone calls. That was a good time. That was an easy way to find the business. A little bit more challenging today, but what if you could automate this same illustration? Question number 8. Doesn't that make life easy? Wouldn't it be great? The only thing that would be even better than this is if I opened up the newspaper and it already knew which ads I was going to circle, and I opened up my want ads and it already had my circles just like you see on the page here. That would be 100%. It wasn't quite that easy. Question number 8, wouldn't that make life easy? Wasn't that a great way to go out and find business? A little more challenging today. Now we're getting down to the skinny of it. You're going to start seeing the secret sauce in about 2 slides. Most of you might be familiar with Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com, FSBO.com, probably another dozen real estate platforms. They're pretty much all the same in terms of their design, but let's just tell you what's going to go on here in a minute. We picked Zillow to begin with, and Zillow has a little search bar at the top. They may have changed the format a little bit. And in this case, what I did is I said, I want to look at Orange County, California. And so it'd bring me up to the top of the funnel. Think of a funnel again. Top of the funnel, Orange County, California. And then I would have different filters on the far right side here. I'm going to highlight that for you for a minute. There's the arrow and it's pointing. I wanted to look at for sale and foreclosures and some other things. Got a little checkbox there. And if you looked at what those filters could do for you, you'd say, hey, how can I get a list of all those things? I want to see a list of the ones that are under the 93 in those parentheses, 93 that are foreclosed. That means they're REOs. Those are owned by the bank or the lender. There are 8,074 by agents. There's FSBO by owner 130. Well, that'd be a pretty good list to go after. How about potentials? How about the ones that are pre-foreclosed? 2,186 opportunities. How would you get to them all? It'd be crazy. The numbers, as I pointed out, the numbers in those little quotation marks, and we're going to use that same nomenclature in our strategy as well, tells you what the opportunity is. And in this case, there were, as I mentioned, foreclosed 483, pre-foreclosed 2,186, just in Orange County, California. You couldn't get to them in a lifetime, less alone, how would you figure out which ones you wanted to even look at? Here's the secret sauce. Stay with me on this one. I do apologize in advance. Once you take a look at the way we're going to break this down, it may even keep you awake at night because you will never look at the URL or the address bar or anything in a website the same after you see this. You will be scraping it yourself in your head saying, oh, I know what Alan was talking about now. When I tell my friends and family, they're going to think I'm a genius. Stay with me. This one happens to be Realtor.com. I like this one the best because it is the most linear of search that I have found. Again, Orange County, California. Stay with me. We're going to look at, in Orange County, California, there are 2,827 properties by nothing more than Orange County, California, and a couple of filters, those little check boxes. How about that blue line is going to direct you to the secret sauce, so stay with me on this. We're going to look at single family homes. We're going to look at price reduced. We're going to look at a filter that says, I want to see foreclosures. I don't want to hide them. If it was that little button to the right, if that was a green button, it would be hiding the foreclosures. It's counterintuitive. In this case, I want to include foreclosures because those are potential opportunities for non-retail opportunities. And I also want to see what are the pending sales. Why do I want to look at those? 9 times out of 10, they fall out anyway. Wouldn't I like to be in second place or watching them in that capacity? Oops, apologize again. Let me leave that for just a second. If you see one or two that come up there, 53 incoming, 54 incoming, I'm going to turn that off anyway. It was blocking my view. Anyway, where we're going with this is, well, we're going to, so good. I apologize. That's not even funny anymore. Okay, here's the secret sauce. Stay with me. www.realtor.com. Yep, that's the top of the funnel. Nothing happened until I got to realtor.com. Do you all agree? You're probably nodding your head or you're saying, yeah, I get it. Okay, so that's realtor.com. Coming down the funnel, we're going to look at real estate homes search. That is that top bar where we have Orange County, California, and sure enough, there it is. Those little slash marks going from upper right to lower left, that little backslash forward, backslash, tells the system, wait a second, I'm going to give you more. Wait a second, I'm going to give you more. I want to go deeper, deeper, deeper. That's what it's telling you it's going to do. Orange County, California, single family homes. Yep, that's that circle right below Orange County up the upper left. Single family homes. This is where it gets exciting. Look at that. SHO-PR. Anybody want to guess what that stands for? It's program language. SHO, it's only missing a vowel. It stands for show. PR, anybody want to guess? How about price reduced? Show price reduced. Let's go one more step. This is important because we're scraping and our software and applications are going to do the exact same thing based on what you're looking for in your designated location. FC include. Going to ask a question again. Anybody want to guess what FC-include mean? I'm not going to hold it from you. It stands for foreclosure. We told the system we want to include the foreclosures, not hide them. Therefore, FC include mean give me all of the deals that are in Orange County, single family home, that have a price reduction that are typically in, and I want to include foreclosures. And if the string would have gone out one more little notch to the right, it would have also included pending sales. I think you get the idea. That's what internet scraping is. I'm not going to take that down to every one of the search platforms that you can do. You get the idea. Here was one from For Sale by Owner, FSBO or FSBO.com. And same thing, www.forsaleby.owner.com/search/Orange County /house type /. You get the idea. The point is, every web is searchable. It has some what do you want to call it? Some potential for keyword search capture. Some sites are more complicated to glean the information without custom programming. However, application software designed for scraping can aid in the process and even workflow to notify members of the changing feeds. For our bronze level and most of our applications, we use Craigslist. By the way, just got the number, 82% of those that participated in our little polling of the beginning, 82%, that's probably 1 or 2 points below we normally get, but it's always within 2 to 3 points, 78 to about 84% use Craigslist as their #1 buy-sell interaction. What a surprise. So with that, we're going to stay with Craigslist. It's actually one of the easiest. It's easiest to train. It's easiest to get deals. And you'll get hundreds of them in your city because it's so active. How is it done? Again, it's done with application software, platforms, training. You could do it yourself. If you knew where to start, you would go into Craigslist and you would start plugging in the category, and then you would start to drill down. Okay, I want to look at a certain location or some of those things, but you'd be looking at one at a time. It is overwhelming. Let's just say that we wanted to look at Real estate as a category. Again, there are hundreds of categories just in Craigslist. We are only doing one little category, Craigslist. We're only doing real estate for sale, and we can do off market, on market. We can look at variations. We can select another 12 filters within just real estate for sale to get down to literally the square foot, the bedrooms, the bath, the dollar amount, the zip code. Those are all embedded in the system. How do you do that without getting overwhelmed? Let's just kind of take a look. We're going to follow the same process. We're going to look at Craigslist, in this case, Sacramento housing for sale by owner. Most of the cases, those are going to be off market. A lot of times people want strictly off market. We look at both on and off market, and there's a reason for that, and we take our members through that through the training programs. But let's just stay with this for the time being. Again, real estate by owner. In this case, there were 453 opportunities. Yeah, just kind of highlighted in case the print is a little too small for you. We highlighted it there. 453 opportunities. You'd have to look at each one. You'd have to look at each one every single day, and it's only giving you the headline. I don't know, that really doesn't tell me enough. It doesn't even tell me whether or not they are motivated. It's just telling me that there's a real estate by owner. I want to know if they're motivated, and I want to know why they're motivated, as much as they can tell me, or I have to drill down. It doesn't get any easier by the search. We just use the general search by owner, but what if you were to use what I have been promoting to you since the beginning, keyword searches? In this case, fixer. Most of the people that jump on our bandwagon are looking at fixers, wholesale, fix and flips, TLC. We're going to give you those 10 keywords, and we're going to test whether or not you can agree with them. In this case, I'm looking at fixers in Los Angeles, and there were 73. Now, if I was looking at just the 400 and so from the previous screen, even though the location changed, 73 is a lot to go through. And here's the other problem. With Craigslist, it's chronological. As most sites are, the more recent posting will get the first spot, whether it's cars, boats, planes, whether it's on Craigslist or Seller Network or Zillow or Trulia. Generally, the next newest deal will chronologically push everything down the road. So this one here that's in the upper left, that one little house, could be at number 2 spot, could be on the next page. It might not even be available anymore. So for you to track it based on, oh, I was on the site this morning, might not even be there. You need something that captures this and kind of records the history while you're moving through the process. We're going to get to that in a minute. Let me ask you a different question. What if you could use an infinite number of words, keywords, to focus on the ideal opportunity to populate your search? Something like this. Again, don't get overwhelmed with all of them. There's over 150. We've compiled these from anything from our own experience to deals that you will see that we scrape new keywords and add those into our library. But we're going to take just a couple of seconds here. I wanted to try to keep this to an hour. I'm going to go over about 10 minutes. So just heads up, I'll be about 10 minutes over the timeline here. Let's just walk down the list here, and you see if there's any keywords that kind of strike you and hit you right between the eyes. I'm going to just go down the column, go down the first column. I'm not even going to use my cursor for that. You can go down, you can see fixer, fixers. You can see real estate, real property. You could see multi-units. Yes, it does commercial as well as residential. You get down to the bottom and you got short sale, auction, fixer-upper, a must sale. I'm going to suggest that should have been must sell. Let's see, need work. It probably should be needs work. That's okay. Column number 2. Let's just scroll down. Sell now, buy now, as is condition. We will even track phrases of keywords, not just single words, but phrases of keywords to give it even more to your particular liking. For sale by owner, right in the middle there of the second column, it's a phrase, for sale by owner. Guess what they're trying to tell you? They want to sell this property, and they want you to know that it's an owner, FSBO, must sell. Same thing, must sell. Liquidation, liquidations. Going to the third column, let's go down to apartment units again. Some of these don't even make sense to you right away, like the word attorney. Well, why would you want to do a keyword attorney? How about a probate, a trust, whether you want to contact the attorney because it was either a short sale or a bankruptcy? We use that a lot. How about motivated, motivations, moving down the fourth column, all kinds of the trash removal. You'd want to know, well, why would you ever want to use a keyword trash removal? Might tell you that it's not in pristine or move-in condition. It needs work. Moving down, rent to own, seller may carry, seller will carry, AITD, that stands for all inclusive deed of trust, where you're taking it subject to the loan. We're not going to go into that right now, but in our mentor program, we go after that business. We want to know that there's existing financing, that I don't have to go out and get private money, and may even get it with just my earnest money down. The idea is there are hundreds, and we can keep those compiling every single month. We keep adding to those and giving you those keywords that you can pick based on what your location is. That might be a little overwhelming, so let's narrow it down to something you can put your arms or your hands around right away. What if you got a targeted keywords to exactly the short list that you want and know which categories have the most activity? Again, the numbers in the parentheses are the number of deal leads in those keywords in a specific location. In this case, I had a client looking for land, 130 opportunities of land. In this case, it was Southern California. Orange County by owner, 65. Do you think you could find a deal out of 65 deal leads that popped up this morning? How about motivated? How about looking for a quick sale? How about, now the word desperate didn't have any in this particular poll because this was just a one-day poll, but I love the word desperate. You would think that's counterintuitive, that they're going to put the word desperate in their ad and they're going to say not desperate. Well, aren't they still a prospect for a sale? Could be. Probate 4, rent to own 20. Orange County fixer 26 by owner of fixers. I'm looking for fixers. I'm going to call every one of those, and better yet, in our advanced programs, we don't even make the call. We introduce you to our virtual assistant who already has the script, and it is 2 keystrokes to say, please call this particular ad or whatever your direction is. We even give you the script for it. We're not going to spend a lot of time on this because I'm running out of time. What is a feed and what is a deal? You've probably gotten some inkling of that. A feed is kind of that moving down that funnel. First, I have to find the web location. Then I've got to figure out what's the keyword I'm looking for. And then I want to expand on the actual leads that came from that keyword. A feed is the header to the data collected. In this case, there were 27 under fixer owner. And therefore, every feed could have dozens and dozens of deals beneath them. And you get a list of them. And in addition to that, we're going to show you right here, the next screen. It's not just a working list, but what it is. It will actually give you instead of just the one line, as we saw, say, in the Craigslist ad or in other ads. I'm not picking on Craigslist, by the way. You can use this system in dozens of other platforms. We don't do that with our bronze. We stay within something that's going to give you that 80-90% return activity. There are other ones that need a little bit more work when you're going to scale or scrape down to them, like having user and passwords recorded. In this case, it's telling me in Hesperia 9-lot subdivision, and it's telling me what it is based on a keyword that I was looking for, seller may carry. It's embedded there someplace in that ad is the keyword seller may carry. And by the way, there are up to 5 different views. So if you don't want to look at it in the horizontal, you could probably figure out that I'm pretty old school. I love kind of that mobile look, that mobile app look, call it the want ad look. In this case, it's called the wide view. And it looks just like a want ad. In fact, That's exactly what it is. It looks just like a want ad. Question number 9. We haven't had any questions for a while. Doesn't that look easy? Doesn't that make life easy? Just a little wire in. I'm still compiling, so don't drop off yet. There's still the bonus at the end. But here is the trick. You saw the secret sauce. You saw the funnel. You saw the 3 key success factors. Here is the magic. Stay with me right here. Click the line, open the ad, make the call, write the deal. That's it. All I want you to do is click the line. First, we're going to close the automatic notifications here because I've distracted you. Click the line, open the ad, make the call, write the deal, done. Yes, you can make it that simple if you have a process and you work down the funnel and you're working the 3 key success factors and you have a deal lead finding tool. Thank you from, what are we, over 20 yeses. Thank you. Okay. Remember, click the line, open the ad, make the call, write the deal. I think you get it. This is what we do for our business so that it just works down the funnel. Click the line, open the ad, the call, write the deal. By the way, Craigslist, and I'm not going to, again, just picking on Craigslist because, by the way, the other ones give you more phone numbers. Craigslist probably gives you about 70% of the phone numbers will be in the ad. And when you're sending it to your virtual assistant, you don't even have to make the call. I don't know if it gets any easier there. Oh, little humor there. That's my little catch guy. That's to give you some illustration, remind you, you could go fishing, you could go catching. We only go catching. Click the line, open the ad, make the call, write the deal. We're going to move through this because I'm now over the hour. I'm watching your time as well. You've seen this happen. They pop up automatically. You can pop them up at the global folder and feed level. You could, again, fine tuning. That's all in our videos. Again, at our gold level, up to 20 hours. Our bronze level, which is our entry level. You're going to see that in just a minute. Probably still about, about 7 hours of training there. Just a few comments from others that have tried it. It was so easy. Once they started coming in, I had to pick which ones I liked best. I couldn't believe it. John S. San Jose. There were so many leads, then I realized this was the exact what I was looking for. This was the missing piece of the puzzle. Wink, wink. That's Sharon B., Chicago. I owe her another quarter every time I say that phrase. Thanks so much for your insight. And then, wow, the deals, leads keep popping up just like you said, and I can't believe how fast I could find one I liked. I clicked the line and called the seller, Bobby W. Memphis. Remember this, not all leads are good deals. Wait for it. Every deal starts off as a lead. Hey, this brings me to one more of my most famous quotations from the master of every sales, Zig Ziglar. Many of you have heard him. Some of you, if you're under 20 years old, you may not know who Zig Ziglar was. He was the master of sales training. Talk to some of the older people that are around you in your business, your friends, your family, and ask them if they ever heard Zig Ziglar, and they'll say yes, he was absolutely a master. Unfortunately, he passed away about 2012. I got a chance to see him at the Honda Center here in Orange County prior to his departure. My favorite Zig Ziglar is, if you know that you close 1 out of 10, get 9 out of the way as soon as possible. Coin that, look it up. If you know that you close 1 out of 10, get the 9 out of the way as soon as possible, and you can't do that unless you have deal leads. It just makes sense. It's an easy choice. You've seen some illustrations like this. Bandit signs, billboards, yellow letters, postcards, We Buy Ugly Houses, mailing campaigns, bird dogs, or the easy way. You know the answer. FindMeDealsNow.com. You find the deals where you want. You find the deals when you want. You have a call to action. You answer only the ones you want. You create a work list. Yes, a list of deals. That's the key. That's that close 1 out of 10 transactions. The deals pop up automatically all day long. You've seen some illustration of that. The deals that you would have looked at can be pre-tagged to pop up. You can with your workflow process. You can say, I want probates today, but I don't want to look at any fixers. I want to look at ARVs today. I don't want to look at any probates. You can design that and on the fly. You can create a call to a daily work list prepared by you. We are a strong believer in not just education, but also workflow management. It is going to be a challenge when you get 10, 20, 50 leads a day, which ones you're going to work, and there's a simple tagging system that is included, no extra charge. You get an auto assistant. Hey, down here, look at me. Oh, that was perfect timing. Look at that one. We got a charming home located on a tree corner lot in High Point. That's North Carolina. I may have to look at that one. I like that. And since the choice is all yours, you no longer have to stress, how am I going to get them to call me? Remember the problem with push marketing. And you can expand other neighborhoods, communities, regions, states by simply changing a new criteria. And that includes adding all 150 keywords if you want. I wouldn't recommend that, but you get the idea. You could just add an extra criteria. You could move from Charlotte, North Carolina to Memphis, Tennessee with nothing more than a couple of clicks. What if you did have to rely on bandit signs and agents and bird dogs and yellow letters and sending postcards? You get the idea. The kit comes preloaded with a starter kit of some of the most popular keywords to do your first deal in minutes of opening the software. Let's go through them. You've been waiting an hour for the 10 keywords. Motivated. Yeah, I like that one. FSBO for sale by owner. TLC, if there's the word TLC in the ad, do you think we want to give them a call? How about seller must sell? That's a phrase, not just single words, but also phrases. How about the word probate? These are heirs. And in our extended baby boomer generation, there are more and more probates. And I am just amazed how many people do not have a living trust. It has to go through a probate. Seller financed. If we're looking if we don't want to borrow any money, we'll use the seller financing. ARV stands for after repair value. Love this one. If ARV is in the ad, you think it's an investor that's trying to sell this thing. They already know that somebody is going to be looking at the after repair value as part of that analysis process, not the beginning of it. ARV, you're going to get dozens of them. Vacant, I go after vacant homes like there's no tomorrow. What's better than a vacant home? Do you think somebody's got some distress if they've got a vacant home? Same thing with tenant occupied. I don't necessarily say that just because there's a tenant there is not a good deal. In fact, just the opposite. I'm going after tired landlords. Tenant occupied. Why are they selling if it's tenant occupied? If it's cash flowing, why do they want to sell it? They're a tired landlord. How about fixers? I guess I should put fixer up at the #1 spot. That is the #1 keyword. We'll have to change that. Question number 10. Do you think there's a keyword that you might be interested in that would give you deals in your particular investment objective? Any of these 10 keywords. It doesn't have to be all 10. And if not, plug in the one that you like, even if it's not on this list, and we'll include that for you at no extra charge. Change them whenever you want. We show you how to do that, both not in just in the training, but in our monthly tip of the month and Q&As. That's always the second Tuesday. That could change, but the second Tuesday of the month, and we break that down into 2 separate FAQs, because we have those that are a little bit more advanced and they don't want to get bogged down with the early ones, and the early ones don't want to get lost with all the other experienced people. How will you benefit from FindMeDealsNow.com? No more bandit signs or agents to call. No more yellow letters, postcards, or drip campaigns. No more marketing to vacant homes hoping to score one. No more purchasing data lists of equity and free and clear sellers. No more bird dogs to find opportunities. Just have them go out and do the drive-by. Specific location versus find me something. You're going to be waiting for the phone to call, find me something, or you say, hey, go and check out this house at 123 Main Street. We've got it under contract. No more waiting for the phone to ring from door knocking. Work your daily call list and just work the deals. Remember, click the line, open the ad, make the call, write the deal, done. Let's talk about what you're going to be getting here. FindMeDealsNow.com. All programs include our deal lead software and instruction sheet. That's a value of $19.95. The Quick Start keyword feeds. I should make that one a little bit more expensive because nothing happens without your keywords, $99.95. The download deal finder leads, that's part of the workflow processor, $5.95 value. Then you get our monthly Q&A sessions that includes a tip of the month and also an open Q&A. It's an hour per call. We put a very high value on it because it is one-on-one. I don't know where you're going to get it for that price. Nearly 20 hours of membership level tutorials. That's actually at our gold level, including silver and bronze. There are different levels of training based on what you select for your options below. Total value, $85.75, all for $19.95. That is our bundled price. It's our retail price. Then you have to pick your plan. The bronze is $29 a month. We're going to give you what the details are. That's less than 97 cents a day. Our silver is $49 a month and requires a 12-month subscription. Our gold and platinums also require 12-month subscription and include much more one-on-one. Here are the details. It's available on our website. You don't need to take a look at this. We're going to give you in the shopping cart. It has the breakdown. You can pick the shopping cart. We're going to give you the link in just one more slide. Summary, here's what you'll be getting. The deal lead software, the quick start, the download deal finder, the monthly Q&A and the video memberships. The bronze is access to our Training One library, $29 a month, no contract. Billed 30 days after. So you don't even have to pay for your membership for the first 30 days after you've downloaded the software. You get the silver, that's access to our Training 2 library. You get in our gold program, it includes 10 hours of one-on-one with either myself or my certified coaches. This is invaluable. For an extra $100 a month, you're going to get one-on-one training for up to 10 hours. Do the numbers. Our platinum is our mentor program. That's our highest level, and that's unlimited. Personal mentoring also includes funding, gap fund sources, syndication, joint venture. We'll even put up some of our own money for some of these if it works within our program. Again, you have to sign use of terms and an acceptance, no different than any other application acquisition. If you're here to do deals, you're here at the right place at the right time, findmedealsnow.com. Or you can email us at info@findmedealsnow.com. If you're ready to place your order, I'm going to put that in the chat box here in just one more slide. If you're one more time, not all leads are good deals, but every deal starts off as a lead. I think I'm going to coin that because I'm into quotations. I think that's going to be one of my quotes now. Not all leads are good deals, but every deal starts off as a lead. Remember, click the line, open the ad, make the call, write the deal, done. It's an easy choice. Bandit signs, billboards, yellow letters, postcards, bird dogs, mailing campaigns, or the easy way, just get a list and work your deals and use the workflow. Question number 11, last one. Which one do you think is easier? The one on the left, that's a little L for the left, or the one on the right, there's a little right. If you're here to do deals, you're in the right place at the right time. The promo code for a 50% discount for the first 20 is the word today, all caps. It won't work with lower caps. It's case sensitive. The word today, T-O-D-A-Y, and then 0123. Today is January 23rd. So that's why I made it easy for me to remember the word today, 0123. Or findmedealsnow.com and you can pay the retail price of $19.95. There are only 20 spots available with that promo code. It will turn off. Let me see if I can get to where you can put it in. There is the link. There's still time to place the order. Let me see if I can get that link down. I'm not the most technically savvy person, but let's see if I can put it in. Where is the chat box? Chat box. Here it is. There it is. You should be able to actually click that link in your chat box right now. If not, you would have to go to www.campaign.findmedealsnow.com and the sales page. I hope that works. I've tested a couple of times, but I'm just the presenter today, so Not quite sure if it launches for that. I'm going to leave that up while we're closing out some things here. There's still some people that are placing their orders. I'm going to let that go. We are probably going to be doing our, because I wanted to keep this to an hour, and I see that I am now over 19 minutes. So I apologize for not moving things along faster, but we look forward to your success stories. Again, I'm going to leave the chat box open. Let's see if there's anything more I was supposed to cover. Thank you for attending. We look forward to your success stories. Order now, findmedealsnow.com or info@findmedealsnow.com. I'll even leave those deals up there in case you want to grab one of those. Send me an email. I'll send those to you free. What do we got? Riverside, great area, 4-car garage. Super unique, gorgeous, bay windows, Beverlywood. Oh, that's a good area. That's a rental. Some other things. I got 161 incoming news. I got to let you all get going because I am way too busy. I've got to get going and close some deals. I'm going to turn off the recording. Thank you all for attending.